There is a quiet idea moving through Washington that could decide your VA disability check not by your injury, but by how much money your household makes. For the first time ever, your income could be used against the benefit you earned with your service. And most veterans have never heard a single word about it. In the next few minutes, I'm going to explain exactly how this would work, the income line that decides who gets hit and whether your check would be in the crosshairs. But I'm going to promise you the same thing I always do. I am not here to scare you. By the end, you are going to feel informed, not frightened, because the truth is calmer than the headlines. Stay with me to the end, because I will also show you how veterans are protecting themselves right now before anything changes. Let me start with the single most important fact, and hold on to it the whole way through. None of this is law. Not one piece of it is passed. It is a proposal, one option on a long list published by a group called the Congressional Budget Office, which every year writes up ways the government could save money. It is a suggestion on a table, not an order that has been signed. The head of the VA has said plainly that veterans' benefits are not getting cut. So as we go through this, remember, we are talking about what some people in Washington have floated, not a check that is shrinking tomorrow. Now, here's what makes this one different from every cut you have heard about. Right now, your disability compensation has nothing to do with how much money you make. It is based only on your service-connected condition and your rating. A veteran flipping burgers and a veteran running a business get the same rate for the same rating because the payment is about your injury, not your income. That has always been the promise. You were hurt in service, so you were compensated for it, period. This proposal would break that promise. It is called means testing. Under it, the VA would start looking at your total household income before deciding what you get. So here's the line that decides everything. Under the version that has been floated, if your household income, not counting your VA disability itself, is below about $135,000 a year, you would keep your full benefit. That figure is not random. It is set at roughly the 70th percentile of household income in the country, which means most veterans would fall under it and would not be touched. But if your household climbs above that line, here's what would happen. For every $2 of income you earn over the limit, you would lose $1 of your VA compensation. It phases you out slowly the more you make. Let me make that real for a moment. Say your household lands $10,000 above the line. That 2-for-1 math would trim about $5,000 a year off the benefit you earned. Land $20,000 over the line, and it would be closer to $10,000 a year gone. The further above that line you sit, the deeper it reaches into the check you fought for. And the people who study these numbers estimate that close to 30% of veterans receiving disability could have household income above that line. So this is not a tiny group. It could reach nearly 1 in 3. Think about who that could catch. A veteran with a good second career, a couple where both people work, a veteran whose spouse earns well. None of that changes the injury they carried home from service, but under this idea, it could shrink the check they earned for it. And there is a companion idea you should know about, because it comes at your income from the other direction. Right now, your VA disability compensation is completely tax-free. There is a separate proposal to start counting it as taxable income. Think about what that would mean. A benefit you have never paid a single cent of tax on could suddenly be treated like an ordinary paycheck, handing a slice of it back to the government every April. That one, too, is only a proposal, and it has not passed, but it lives on the very same list, and it would quietly take a bite out of the same check you already earned. So put it together. One idea would reduce your benefit if your household earns above a line. The other would tax the benefit you already receive. Both would, for the first time, tie the check you earned with your body to the money in your bank account. That is why veterans groups watch these so closely. So the real question is, what do you do about ideas that have not passed? Here are 3 calm, sensible moves. Move number 1. If you have been putting off filing a claim or filing for an increase you know you deserve, stop waiting. Nearly every time rules change, they change going forward. And the veterans already in the system are protected. Getting your rating in place now, under today's rules, is one of the smartest things you can do. The earlier you are in the door, the better your footing if anything ever shifts. Move number 2. Know your own picture, quietly and honestly. You do not need to panic about a line in a budget document, but it does help to know roughly where your household sits, so that if any of this ever moves, you are not caught by surprise. Knowledge is calm. Guesswork is what keeps people up at night. Move number 3, get a veteran service officer in your corner. These are trained people who help you with your VA benefits for free, and they follow every one of these proposals for a living. If any of this ever moves from an idea towards something real, they will know before the rumor mill does, and they will know exactly how it touches your situation. Let me leave you with the honest bottom line. Washington is talking about your income in rooms you will never sit in. And yes, it is worth keeping an eye on. But talk is not law. Nothing has been cut, and most veterans sit below that line and would not be touched at all. The move is not to panic. It is to get in the door now, know where you stand, and keep your voice ready. You did not earn this benefit with a paycheck. You earned it with your service. What is in your bank account does not change what you carried home, and you have every right to defend the check that recognizes it. Watch this closely, but sleep well tonight, because nothing has changed for the payment you are already receiving. If this helped you see it clearly, do one thing for someone who served. Send it to one veteran who works or whose spouse works, because they are exactly the ones who need to understand this while it is still just an idea. One honest note before I go: I am not a lawyer, and I do not speak for the VA. This is general information about proposed ideas, not advice about your personal benefits, and the situation can change. For your own case, talk with an accredited veteran service officer or a veteran service organization. Most will help you at no cost, and they will always know your situation better than any video can. Thank you for your service, and thank you for spending these few minutes with me. Keep your head clear, and I will see you in the next one.